All right, we're on a roll this morning. Check Chai versus Lindsay, 75 Atlanta, 376, 377, 1 Boyce, Dell, 185. Automotive vehicles are lawful means of conveyance and have equal rights upon the streets with horses and carriages. Okay, now, check this shit out. I just want to point something out. So I want to show you how an automobile becomes a motor vehicle. All right? An automobile becomes a motor vehicle when it is registered with the DMV, okay? If you will notice, go around different states, different counties, different towns, take a nice little leisurely stroll with your family, and I want you to take note that every place that sells cars sells automobiles. They don't sell motor vehicles. You will never find a motor vehicle dealership because they don't fucking exist. Why? Because they don't become a motor vehicle until you register the motherfuckers to engage in commerce. Then and only then does it become a motor vehicle per the Department of Motor Vehicles Code, okay? The Department of Transportation. Most cops, state patrol, police officers don't even have the authority to pull you over and issue a citation in the first place. We're going to get to that. I think that's down on like page 80 of this document, okay? But again, the difference between an automobile and a motor vehicle is the motor vehicle is registered to be engaged in commerce. Take that shit off the roll. Tell the DMV, fuck you, pack sand fucking asshole, close this fucking account, give me a full accounting on all the monies you made by selling my private intellectual property to other fucking corporations so they could charge up my citizenship, my person, okay, that I'm the beneficiary of, and cut me out of the deal while leaving me high and dry as fucking surety, dickheads. I want a full accounting, you cock smokes. All right? So again, drive around your community. I'll bet you'll never find a motor vehicle dealership. I've looked for them. Because one day somebody said, hey, Derek, show me a motor vehicle dealership. And I laughed and I was like, I could do that. Man, I tried. It can't be done. There is no such thing as a motor vehicle dealership. There's only automobile dealerships. And it becomes a motor vehicle when you register it. Because the only reason to register something is because you're engaged in commerce. What'd you do with your LLC? You registered it, didn't you? Why? Because it's engaged in commerce. All right? Think about that. Anytime you're registering anything, including your fucking offspring for school, guess what you're doing? You're engaging in a commercial activity. Okay? That's the fact. It's a fact, Jack. All right? If the shoe fits, wear it. All right? Don't kill the messenger. You can hate the truth all day long. You ain't mad at the players. You're mad at the game. But if you learn the game, you won't be mad at it anymore. Because realistically, you can use it to your benefit. All right? Chisholm versus Georgia, 2 U.S. 419, 1793. At the Revolution, the sovereignty developed on the people, and they are truly the sovereigns of the country. But they are sovereigns without subjects. Unless the African, tries to go off in a bunch of other shit. Page 2, U.S. 47 after 2. Slaves among us, unless the African slaves among us may be so called, and have none to govern but themselves. The citizens of America are equal as fellow citizens and as joint tenants in the sovereignty. Even in almost every nation which has been denominated free, the state has assumed a supercilious preeminence above the people who have formed it. Hence, the shoddy notions of state independence, state sovereignty, and state supremacy. Justice Wilson, Chisholm versus Georgia, 2 Dallas, U.S., 419, 458, 1792. The only principle of law, then, that can be regarded are those common to all the states. I know of none such which can affect this case but those that are derived from what is properly termed the common law, a law which is, I presume, is the groundwork of the law in every state of the Union, and which I consider, so far as it is applicable to the peculiar circumstances of the country, and where no special act of legislation controls it, to be in force in each state as it existed in England, unaltered by any statute at the time of the first settlement of this country. For admitting that the Constitution is not to have a restrictive operation so as to confine all cases in which a state is a party exclusively to the Supreme Court, an opinion to which I am strongly inclined. If sovereignty be an exemption from suit in any other than the sovereign's own courts, it follows that when a state, by adopting the Constitution, has agreed to be amendable to the judicial power of the United States, she has, in that respect, given up her right of sovereignty. Blair Justice. People of the United States did not surrender the supreme or sovereign power to that state, but, as to the purpose of the Union, retained it to themselves. As to the purpose of the Union, therefore, Georgia is not a sovereign state. Justice Wilson. People of the United States do not surrender the supreme or sovereign power to that state, but as to the purpose of the Union, retaining it to themselves. As to the purpose of the Union, therefore, Georgia is not a sovereign state. These, with a number of others, are important restrictions of the power of the state, and were thought necessary to maintain the Union and to establish some fundamental uniform principles of public justice throughout the whole Union. Justice Cushing. Chicago Coach Co. versus City of Chicago, 337 III 200, 169 N period E period 22. Traffic infractions are not a crime. People versus Battle. Persons faced with an unconstitutional licensing law which purports to require a license as a prerequisite to exercise of right, may ignore the law and engage with impunity in the exercise of such rights. Chicago Coach Co. versus City of Chicago, 377 III 200-205. See also Christie versus Elliott, 216 III 31. Ward versus Meredith, 202 III 66. And Schinkel versus McCullough, 116 Kentucky 960, and Butler versus Cabe, 116 Arkansas 26, 28 through 29. Automobiles are lawful vehicles and have equal rights on the highways with horses and carriages. Daly versus Maxwell, 133 S period W period 351 354. Chicago Motor Coach versus Chicago, 169 in E 22. Lagar versus Chicago, 28 NE 934. Boones versus Clark, 214 SSW 607. 25 Am Jurisprudence, First Highway, Section 163. The right of the citizens to travel upon the highway and to transport his property thereon is an ordinary course of life and business, is the usual and ordinary right of the citizen, a right common to all. Citizens and sovereigns. When we come back, we're going to hit citizens and sovereigns. I'm going to drink a cup of coffee here, wake up a little bit, and have a cigarette. When we come back, we're going to be talking about citizens and sovereigns. Again, this document, we're only 20 pages into it. It's 95 pages long. Just open your mind. Your mind only works if it's open just like a parachute. Slow down, the velocity of the speed that you're falling to the ground right now. And pick a trajectory, all right? Something that's of sound, sane mind and suitable for you to absorb some of this information. You're not going to absorb it all in one sitting. And a lot of it, again, some of it will sound contradictory. I want you to understand they're talking about two separate and very distinct jurisdictions. We'll be back.